Did you know that running from an assignment can place you into a state of chaos? For instance, if the Lord told you to do something very specific and you find yourself running from that particular thing, and then you notice that certain things start to, fall by the wayside, or things start to change in your life that aren't exactly how you picture them to be. Is it because of what you're running from, or is it what you are running to? Let's talk about it. Hello, and welcome to Embracing the Fight. I am Erica Lamar, your digital creator and host. And if you've been with me since January of 2023, you'll know that Embracing the Fight is about normalizing the conversations surrounding physical and mental health issues and concerns. And I've had many guests on to share their stories of triumph, love, joy, and happiness. And I've had others to come on and share their trials to let you know that you can make it through it as well. If you'd like to be a guest on Embracing the Fight, I would love to have you. Please send me an email to operations@diversitydesign.com, or you could just comment below and I'll reach out to you. Or you can inbox me, either way. But before you get off of this, before you stop listening, I would love it if you would subscribe, click like, comment, and share to Embracing the Fight. I am on lots of different social media platforms. I am on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, Blue Sky, and X. Now, the only difference is on Instagram, I am under Embracing the Fight _. So now that I've gotten the business of everything out of the way, let's talk about this chaos that we find ourselves walking in. So I'll just tell you a little bit of a story, about me. So when I was younger, I used to spend a whole lot of time, reading my Bible and praying and talking and listening, to God. I had developed a relationship where I even had the nerve to say when I was about 16 or 17 years old that I had never been through anything. I had never been through any tests. So I don't know, what it's like to be outside of the will of God. And here I am, my 48-year-old self. And I'm saying, why did my 16-year-old self say that? Because through all the storms in life, all the chaos and everything, I stayed, close to God. But I know that I could have been closer. I know I could have been more like my 16-year-old self. And I'm sharing that with you because it's never too late to reconnect, to get closer to God. Because He is the one who calms your storm. See, when we run from God, we run to chaos. Think about the story of Jonah. Jonah was running from what God had assigned him to do. And in order for Jonah to get back in line with what God required him to do, he had to be swallowed, by a big fish. And the whole time that he's in there, he's realizing the error of his ways, and he knows that he has to go to Nineveh. He has to do what he was supposed to do. So if you're looking at your life right now and you're wondering why some things are just okay, or things aren't falling in line exactly where they should be, have you gone to the source? Because if you talk to God, I'm sure that He can direct you, lead you, guide you to where it is that you're supposed to be going. Now, I understand there's probably somebody out there saying, what, I don't know if I can go to God because I've done so many things. I've done this, I've done that. That's pride within yourself. Because God forgives. When you ask Him for forgiveness, He doesn't sit there and keep an account of every wrong that you've done once you've, repented of your sins and asked Him to forgive you. So when you decide not to do that, you are running away from clarity, and you're running towards chaos. Now, on the flip side of things, sometimes we have to go through storms, or we have to go through things in order to get clarity on our assignment. I know that sounds nuts. It sounds like, why would I have to get sick, or why would I have to lose a child, or why would I have to lose a job, or why would I have to go through all these things? It's because God has his way of showing us the next step in our lives by getting our attention. Now, I'm not speaking for God. What I'm saying is, in order to get my attention, God had to take everything away. When I was at a point where I could buy whatever I wanted, travel where I wanted, do whatever I wanted, give whatever I wanted to give, and not even worry about it, I even had the audacity to tell people that, had borrowed money, and when I say they wronged me, I mean they borrowed a lot of money and just didn't return it. I would even say out loud that, you know what, just because they took it, I know God's going to give me even more because I gave with a cheerful, kind, loving, and giving heart. But did God tell me to give it to those people? No. Erica told me to give it to those people. And when I'm going Erica's way, then it's not God's way. And he has a way of showing you, or showing me, that when you don't go my way, I can show you. I can take you through that path so you can see, what you should have done. Now at the same time, I know that God doesn't punish you, or do mean and horrible things to you just because, he's like, I'm God and I can do it. No. There's always a message behind his method. Now, I have been in a Bible study with a group of ladies, and we talk, nightly, and we discuss the things that are going on in our lives, and we are praying for multiplication in our lives. And it was interesting to me that I became a part of this group because I had no thought or anything about being a part of a group like this. But once I got in there and I started listening to what a lot of the ladies had to say, it truly spoke to my heart, especially in terms of multiplication. Because a lot of the ladies in the group, they've gone through trials, they've gone through, many different things. But in the time that they went through those things, God allowed them to see someone who made it to the other side. So I believe I'm in this group because God is allowing me to see what's on the other side. He's preparing me, for something greater. But the thing that we focused on today was being faithful in the little things. So we can sit around and we can think about, the big jobs, the big book deals, the huge promotions, the multiple sites for your business. These are all wonderful thoughts and wonderful dreams to have. The question is, how are you handling the little things? Are you running from the little things that the Lord is asking you to do? And if you are running from the little things, those little things are running you right into chaos. Because the large things that he has stored up for us, we can't tap into because we haven't been a good steward over the little things. And most people automatically think that we're talking about money. No, it's not. Not always money. It's other things. Like, for instance, if you're walking and you hear something in your heart that tells you to compliment a person and you decide to walk past them, but you've been praying and asking the Lord to give you a platform to speak and encourage people, but you won't do it to the little old lady or the little old man or that small child that's looking at you that's expecting just a hello. Or say you continually chase after these huge opportunities, but when someone comes to you and says, hey, I need you to do Relay for Life for me. I need you to set up one team, but you don't make the time for that. But you're asking the Lord to place you over several different hospitals as a fundraising advocate, but you won't do the small Relay for Life thing. Or what if you are walking down the street and it is freezing outside and you have a coat and you see someone that needs a coat, more than you do. You know you have 5, 6, 7 coats at home. Will you part with that coat for a few minutes of being cold? Or will you keep the coat and walk away from the blessing that was waiting for you on the other side of it? Because sometimes when we give, it has to come from a place that causes a little bit of discomfort. Because imagine if you could give and give and give and give and give, and it never, you know, like tugs at your heartstrings or never stretches you in any way, then how effective is the gift? Now, I'm not condemning or saying anything against people who have lots and lots of money that can, like help anyone, anywhere, at any time. I'm not saying that, because that is a blessing in itself. But those people who are able to do that learned how to do the little things. They started off with the small gifts, the volunteering, the community service, the help. Whatever it is, they decided to do those things in private. And God blessed it publicly. So whatever it is that you're running away from, it's sending you into chaos. It's sending you into a place of lack. It's sending you into a place that feels unfamiliar, because you feel like, you know what, I've been faithful to God. I have lived right. I have tried to follow, the ways and the word and the love of God. I've tried to pattern my life after these things. But somehow you feel like you're still missing the mark. Is it because of the little things that you're running from, trying to get to the bigger things? What is it that you are passing over? What is it that you're skipping? Now, I don't know this to be 100% sure or for sure, but I know that when I heard those words today, when we were reading from, I want to say it was Luke chapter 6, verses 1 through 10, where there was a manager that was about to lose, his job. And instead of him, saying, what can I do to make these things right with the Lord? He sat back and he said, you know what? I'm not strong enough, to work in the fields. And he started naming all the things that he lacked, that he couldn't do. So instead of having the integrity to tell the truth about how he was managing, he went to his managers, debtors, and said to them, whatever it is that you owe, I'm going to give you a discount. That way, once this, is all over with, I'll have some people that I have favor with, and I can live with them if I can't find a job, if I can't find something else to do. But just imagine if he had done right by God in the first place. He would never have lost that job and could potentially have seen some increase. So the question is, what are you saying that you can't do? Or what is it that you're saying that is like holding you back? That's keeping you from being honest, from having integrity? What's causing you to not complete your taxes with integrity? You leave off a couple of thousand here, or you forget, that item you purchased had nothing to do with their business, but it fit. You got the receipt. Let's put it on there. We shouldn't do that, because there's no blessing behind it. You're running from integrity. So the question is, after you've heard all this today, what are you running from? And is that thing that you've been running from pushed you into any form of chaos? But then on the flip side, you have those people that are thriving because they're doing the little things. I want to encourage you to keep right on doing the little things, because the bigger things are waiting on the other side of that. Thank you so much for taking time out of your busy schedule to watch this episode of Embracing the Fight. I truly hope that it encouraged you to not run from any little thing that God gives you, but to seek Him for clarity so that you don't run away from Him to run into chaos that He's going to have to help you get out of anyway. And as always, I want you all to have an absolutely amazing day.